just me and my guitar.
Hey, what's going on guys? Mark back here from Mark's Aquatics. You're looking at the new project right there, the old CO2 tank. I've had this one kicking around now for quite some time and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, but I've come up with the idea. I'm going to turn it into a lamp. I'm not going to put anything alive in this one. It's a little bit small. It's going to be about, I'd say maybe a gallon, maybe a little bit less of water that can go inside this, and so I'm going to make it like a lamp, but we're going to do like a diving bottle theme out of it, and it's going to be more decorative, but I think it's going to look pretty funky in the living room, or I might leave it in the workshop here, because the old tank is going to be going outside soon, because it's a bit noisy in here with things happening when I'm doing work. So it's not really fair on the little goldfish to stay in here, so we're going to put them in the living room, I think. Anyway, so the plan is with the old fire extinguisher here. This is a 2 kilo bottle. Now what I will say, safety first please guys. Make sure these things are empty before you start attempting anything if you're going to attempt this, okay? They hold about 3 bar I think of pressure in there, and they are literally like a little bomb. So it's got to be completely empty, and obviously by empty that means you can push that down, nothing can come out, and then you've got to unscrew the top and take that top completely off. Do not try and attempt to drill any holes in these while it's without that being depressed first and nothing coming out, okay? And if you're unsure, get someone to check it for you, because they could be pretty lethal. So make sure you safety first, okay? It's a 2 kg bottle, as you can see, CO2, which is on it there if you've got pretty good eyes. I can just about see it from there. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a panel out around here like this, a viewing panel all the way around. Remove that piece. Once that's removed, then we're going to get an acrylic sleeve. I found somewhere that does these acrylic tubes. The diameter across the top of there, I think the biggest one I could get through in there, I've actually ordered it, so it should be here in a couple of days, is 100 mil. Okay, so that's 100 mil diameter, but a 3-inch wall on it. We'll go over that when it comes, but that's going to actually then, it's going to slip inside here. We're going to have to put some silicone around the base. We're going to have to make a little cap, cut a little disc to fit under the bottom, because these are only tubes when they come, so we're going to have to cut a round piece of acrylic, which I've got lots of little bits kicking around here, and we can make one and glue it into the bottom, and then hopefully we'll have a little bit more that'll slot on the top like that, and that will give us our little lip around there, then it will slot back on, okay, so it won't come off. I think it's going to be a pretty funky little idea, and like I say, it's just going to have, what I'm going to do inside, I'm going to have like a bubbling effect. What I'm going to try and get is a little cylindrical air stone. I've seen them online, and they've got little coloured LEDs inside them, which obviously change colour. I think they're either on a remote control or on like a little timer, and they just change themselves. So we'll have a look at that. So it puts bubbles up through. So I thought with that gap in there like that square cut out, with the bubbles coming up through with the light, it's going to look quite good, and create a nice little lamp effect, and maybe even put a lamp with a shade or something on the top. I don't know yet what I'm going to do, but yeah, I think it's going to look quite good. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'm quite excited about this build. Let's crack on. work. Didn't take long for you watching, but that's some thick stuff there, it really is. We know these things have got to put up with a lot of pressure. There's quite a lot of I think there's 3 bar in these, so that's there's a fairly old hefty chunk of aluminium there. But we made it, we got through it. As you can see, it's nice and shiny on the inside there. We're going to have to get a file now, and we're going to have to make sure all these edges are nicely cleaned up, and then we can move on to the next stage then. So I'm going to try and get some kind of acrylic tubing that's going to sleeve. We can't just put water in there with the aluminium because it's not going to work. So I'm going to try and measure this up and see if I can get hold of some acrylic tube that we can seat down in there and slide straight down into the bottom there, and we can make a little tube for the base and a little cylinder for the bottom, and just cap it off with some acrylic glue, and then we can slide it in the top, and then we can get to work on all the other little bits and bobs that we need to fit in there now. Right guys, what we got to do here, pull these edges down around here, probably take it back a little bit further on both sides, as I've got to do it around the top there and make that, and just smarten up these edges as well. And we're going to use the old angle grinder for that, so I'm going to speed things up a bit now and we'll crack on. Oh, I felt like someone out of Ocean's 11 then, doing that, carving that out there, listening to that little bit of music there. It's like I was doing over the Bellagio in Vegas. Anyway, let's go and feed all. I tell you what, we've got a name for this dude. He's called Google. How's that? My daughter came up with that name. I think it's brilliant. Little Google. You have to think of some more names for you chaps as well. Let's give them some food. There you go. Have some flake. Come on in, Google. These water lettuce are growing really well. Hang about. There's a little cherry shrimp up there. Look at that. I wonder why that algae was going missing on top of the waterfall there. A little cherry shrimp. How did you get in there? Must have come in on one of the plants. Some of that graminifolia, I suppose, I put in there. It's the only way it could have got in there, to be honest. But he's keeping that waterfall nice and clear. You can see the algae over the front there, which he hasn't picked up. Oh well, seems to be happy. We'll leave him in there. If you're new to the channel, you can pop back and see how I made that. Out of some old scraps of glass that I had kicking around. Anyway, back to the project here. We've cut it off nicely now, all the way over the top. Sanded all the edges down. All the way around. We've given it a little bit of a light rub down with some sandpaper. All these edges now are nice and smooth, which is good. We can clip that top back on there now. And so far it's looking quite good so far. I think I quite like it just as it is without viewing paneling. But we've got the acrylic, that's come, and we can do that. I'll set you up in the tripod and we can do a little unboxing of the acrylic. Alright guys, I've got the let me sort this stuff out and I'll grab the box. That came today, obviously with the magic of camera work and all that. We've got the acrylic, because obviously this isn't taking me 5 minutes as you've watched me do it. It's taken a couple of days to get things organised, and here we have some acrylic tube. So we can take this out, take the top off of there. Oh, look at that, look. Excellent stuff. That's what we're after. Like I said, it's 100 ml. Okay, and now what we're going to do, very, very carefully, is we can insert that now inside the top. Now once that's positioned in there, we're going to get that effect in there. Like I say, it looks like there's nothing in it. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. Now what we got to do, because I've got extra amount of space, I'm going to slowly raise that up about that far. Okay, and then that'll be a nice little recess then for that lid. Once it's raised up like that, for that lid to fix on. I can push it up as high as I can, hold it there, so I need to be up that high. For a nice little, for that lid to fit on there like that, and then we can square it up. I think it's looking pretty funky so far. I can just see it all now. We've got the lights in the bottom now. We've got all the bubbles coming up through there with the light coming through. It's going to look quite good. I've got to level this bench up as well. Everything looks a bit drunk on the bench, doesn't it? But yeah, there you go. There you go so far. So I think the next time we have a look at it, we're going to be having to work out how to put the air stone in the bottom. And then we're going to have to work out a way to cut some acrylic to fill in the bottom of here, cap that off, and also we're going to have to drill a hole through the side here so the air line can go in onto the air disc on the inside, so it can go up, and then we can seal everything in there, because there's going to be power going to this as well. So it's going to have probably one hole there for the air line to come out. That's why I went slightly smaller with this tube, and then one for the electrical cable to come out as well. Okay, which is going to come out of here, because then when we put that back in here a minute, because we don't want that getting scratched up. Right, we can put that back in it. Now that cost 15 quid for that, which I don't think is bad at all for a piece of tube that size. 3mm wall on it, 3mm thickness across there. Okay, that was £15 off eBay, which isn't bad at all. So yeah, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come around the back, because obviously everything's going to be hidden around the back. We're going to have to drill 2 holes here, which are then going to have to go inside the acrylic tube inside. So that's going to be the next job we got to do. So I'm happy with this so far. Anyway guys, I think that's as far as I'm going to go on this one. I've got some more stuff on order, so when that comes, we'll put it all together, we'll finish it off. Anyway guys, I hope you like this little video so far. I'm finding it quite a nice, interesting little build. It's something I think I'm going to keep in the workshop, which is going to like a little lamp, unless my daughter pinches it for a night light for her bedroom. I don't know what's going to happen yet. We'll have to wait and see. But if you like my videos, guys, please like, share and subscribe. Always amazing. All you guys that have subscribed to me so far, thank you very much for doing so. I really appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel, pop back and have a look at some of the other videos that I've done and some of the other builds that I've done, and it might inspire you to subscribe as well. Anyway guys, you're all stars. Look after yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mark's Aquatics. Take care, bye for now.
Just me and my guitar.